Hi guys, this is Paige from Paperbacks and Lattes, and today I will be telling you all about the books on my August TBR. Today is the last day of July, so I am filming my August TBR today so I can get it up and let you know what I plan to read for August. It's never a guarantee that I'll stick to my TBR because I'm a mood reader, and like in July, I barely stuck to my TBR at all. I think I only read, I think I still read like 7 or 8 books off of it, but I still didn't finish it because I just wasn't in the mood to read what I had picked out. So I just really deviated away from it. So there's no promises that I'll get these books read, but I will try to. So I have 2 mugs that I put series in one and a trope in romance. So I'm going ahead and going to do that now. This cute owl mug is my trope, different tropes. So I will pick one from this, choose from the bottom. All right, workplace romance. So I have to choose a book that is a workplace romance, and I know exactly the one I want to read because I've heard so much about it, and that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. So I'm definitely going to read that one. I have wanted to read it for a while now, so that just gives me the perfect opportunity to read that one. Now we're gonna pick one from the series, different series I need to finish. Shake it up really good. All right. This one is the Magnolia Cove series. And this is so funny because I was looking through my Kindle and my Goodreads, and I actually saw the 3rd book that I have not read out of that series, and I actually added it to my TBR already. So that is so funny. That is such a huge coincidence. Let's now talk about all the books that I have on my TBR. The first book on my TBR is Ritual by Candy Steiner. Back in July, Jess from Peace Love Books and Mina from Mina Reads and Melissa, I can't remember her YouTube channel right now, but I will have all of the girls linked down below. They did a read along of the PSU series by Candy Steiner, and the first 4 books are out, and then the 5th book just came out yesterday. So they were doing a read along all month long, and I read all 4 of the first books in July. I like binged them. I read the first one, and I had to read all 4 of them in a row because they were so addicting. So the 5th one, which I know I'm not going to get done by today, so it will be in my August reads. So I'm added it to my August TBR. This follows a group of guys and girls that are in college. They are in South Florida, and they are going to college, Palm South University, and you just see all of the things that happen through their years at college there. The people that they meet, the people that they fall in love with, the people that they break up with, their friendships. And so you just really experience what these group of people go through in college, and it is a really good series, and I cannot wait to read the new book, Ritual. The second book on my TBR is Mayhem by C.M. Stunage. This book actually comes out today. And the funny thing is, I stayed up until midnight last night waiting for its release because I really wanted to start reading it last night. And the clock hit 12, and I was waiting for it to be released on my Kindle, and it did not. So I stayed up until 3 o'clock because I started reading another book. Plus I wanted to see, I'm on Eastern time, so I figured it was going to be released in another time zone, so I was just waiting. Well, I stayed up until 3, and I finally decided to go to bed. So I woke up this morning, and it is now on my Kindle. So I won't get it read today, so it will be another one in my August reads. So I'm really looking forward to reading Mayhem. This is the 3rd book in the Havoc series. This follows a girl named Bernadette, and she has just been through so much in her life, and she has been bullied by this group of guys at her school. This is a reverse harem series, by the way, but it's for reasons that she didn't understand. But she goes to them for help because they're like a gang at her school. They're the Havoc Boys, and she goes to them for help because she needs help getting back at all these people that have wronged her. And boy, has she been wronged in her life. She has gone through so much, and she finds these boys to help her, and along the way, of course, they all start falling in love with each other, and it is a pretty good series, and I cannot wait to read the third one. Also in my August TBR is a book that just came out yesterday. It is Rain by Sahoban Davis. It is the third book in a series as well, and it's also reverse harem. This follows a girl named Harlow. She was kidnapped when she was 13. When they got her back, her dad helped her take training lessons, like how to defend herself and all that. Well, her dad passed, and then she figures out that the gang that is around their area was the one responsible for killing him, and they were also the ones responsible for kidnapping her when she was younger. Well, the junior part of the gang goes to her school, and she gets mixed up with them, and at first she doesn't trust them, but then she comes to realize that they are on her side. And this is the third book in the series. I think it's the final one, and I'm so excited to be reading it because the second book left off on a huge cliffhanger, so I'm so excited to read the third one. The next book is Inked in Lies by Gianna Darling. This is in the Fallen Men series. I absolutely love this series so much. This is a motorcycle club series, and this follows one of the guys in the motorcycle club. His name is Nova, and I don't really know much about their story. I haven't really focused on the plot or the synopsis because I kind of want to go in blind. All the books in her series have been good. Zeus is the president. We have followed his love story to Lou. King is his son. We followed his love story with Cress. Hardly Rose is his daughter, and we followed her love story with Danner. And so now we're getting to another character in the series, and I'm so excited to read his story as well. The next book I want to read is Voyeur by Fiona Cole. I have heard a lot of good things about this author, and I am more onto the dark / forbidden type of romance books, and that's what I've really been in the mood for lately. So I decided to go ahead and start her series. This is the Voyeur series, and this is the first book, of course. Its name is Voyeur, and this follows a girl who's going to college, and her professor watches her, and I'm guessing it's sort of a romance story between her and her professor. So it is very forbidden, and I am all about forbidden romance stories. The next book on my TBR is Desolate by Autumn Gray. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, especially from Bree from In Love and Words. This is about a guy who is trying to become a priest. He's in training to become a priest, and then he starts to fall in love with a girl, I think. And he is at war with himself because priests can't have relationships. So he has to decide whether he's going to be a priest or going to have her. So it sounds really good, and I cannot wait to read it. So far I've loved all the books Autumn Gray has written, and I can't wait to read this one as well. The next book I want to read is Lilac by B.B. Reed. This is a rock star romance. This is a girl who ends up getting a position in a band. I think if it's a guitarist or a drummer, I can't remember which. And the band does not want her. I think it's in like an all-guy band, and they do not want her in their band. They're trying to push her out and all that, and it's a reverse harem, so I think it's going to end up with her with the band. So right up my alley. I've really been into reverse harem lately, and this sounds perfect. The next book I want to read is Raised by Tilly Cole. I had started this audiobook a while back, but it's really hard for me to listen to audiobooks because I have young kids, and I really can't walk around with earbuds in because I have to really pay attention to where my young kids are. And so I don't like to listen to them out loud because I don't want my kids hearing these books. So I stopped the audiobook, and I'm going to read it on my Kindle. Raised is about a guy who was kidnapped as a little boy. He was taken to this place and they pretty much raised him to be a killer. They fight in these death matches. He doesn't even have a name. He goes by a number. And in comes this girl. I don't know. I want to say she is in the mafia family, but I'm not certain. But she comes in and discovers him, and he's in such a dark place. He comes into his life and helps him realize that there is more to life than just being a killer, and that he is capable of being loved. The next book on my TBR is A Wish for Us by Tilly Cole. This is another book that I've really been wanting to read for a long time. I've really been into Tilly Cole's books lately. She writes really great books, and I can't wait to read this one as well. This is about a 19-year-old guy named Cromwell Dean, and he is the rising star of electronic dance music. It says, thousands of people adore him, but no one knows him. No one sees the color of his heart until the girl in the purple dress. She sees through the walls he has built to the empty darkness within. When Cromwell leaves behind the gray skies of England to study music in the South Carolina heat, the last thing he expects is to see her again. And he certainly doesn't expect that she'll stay in his head like a song on repeat. Bonnie Faraday lives for music. She lets every note into her heart, and she doesn't understand how someone as talented as Cromwell can avoid doing the same. He's hiding from his past, and she knows it. She tries to stay away from him, but something keeps calling her back. Bonnie is the burst of color in Cromwell's darkness. He's the beat that makes her heart skip. But when a shadow falls over Bonnie, it's up to Cromwell to be her light in the only way he knows how. He must help her. He must keep her strong with a symphony only he can compose. A symphony of hope, a symphony of love, and a symphony of them. So that sounds really, really good. Right up my alley, and I cannot wait to read it. The next book I want to read is Speechless by Kim Fielding, and I want to read you the synopsis. It's really short, so I can never explain things quite as well as the synopsis can. Travis Miller has a machining job, a cat named Elwood, and a pathetic love life. The one bright spot in his existence is the handsome guitar player he sometimes passes on his way home from work. But when he finally gathers the courage to speak to the man, Travis learns that former novelist Drew Clifton suffers from aphasia. Drew can understand everything Travis says, but he is unable to speak or write. The two lonely men form a friendship that soon blossoms into romance. But communication is only one of their challenges. There's also Travis's inexperience with love and his precarious financial situation. If the words are the bridge between two people, what will keep them together? That sounds amazing. I've read deaf/mute kind of books, but this deals with aphasia, which is where he something is in his brain where he cannot speak or write. So communication is going to be very hard for them, but it's going to be their romance, and I cannot wait for it. I am so looking forward to reading this book. The next book I want to read is Zack by Lily Atlas. This is the first book in the Hell's Handlers MC series. This is another motorcycle club series. I had just finished up Tilly Cole's Motorcycle Club series, and so I wanted to begin another one. I really like them. They're full of drama, they're full of action, and full of romance. So I love all of those. Zack is in this motorcycle club, and he is trying to convince Tony that she belongs there with him. She is resisting him. She just wants a normal, boring life, but then this drama and action ensues, and he has to protect her because her old enemies, things from the past, are coming up again. And I can't wait to read it because I always love motorcycle club romances. The next book I want to read is Pucked Up by Helena Hunting. This was on my TBR several months ago, but I never did get around to reading it. I really want to continue reading the series because I know that this series is good. I've read the first one in the series. This follows hockey players, and the second one follows the brother of the girl from the first book. So he is a hockey player, and this will be his romance, and I'm really looking forward to it and continuing on in the Puck series. The next book I want to read is Hero by Lauren Rowe. I recently watched Bree from In Love and Words video about the kind of a guide to Lauren Rose books, and I've heard of this series before. It's the Morgan Brothers series, and I really am excited to read it because she made it sound so good. So this is the first book in the series. This is about a guy who is a firefighter, and I think he was injured on the job. I'm not particularly sure, but I know he's injured, and he is in the hospital, and he meets his physical therapist, and he's really infatuated with her, and it's going to be their romance. So it sounds really great. I'm also looking forward to a firefighter romance. I've not really read many of them at all, and my husband is actually a firefighter, so this will be kind of fun, but also a little scary because I'm always afraid of him being injured, but I'm looking forward to reading it. The next book I want to read is Feast of Sparks by Sierra Simone. I recently read the first book in the series, and this follows a group of people who knew each other as kids, and because their parents were doing things and now they're grown, and they all came back together because they kind of separated throughout life, but they all came back together, and let's just say it's very interesting. There's nothing else that I've read like it. They all kind of like each other, so it's like 2 or 3 girls with 2 or 3 guys. I can't remember exactly the number, but the first book was very unique, and so I want to continue on in the series. The next book I want to read is The Understatement of the Year. This is actually the 3rd book in the series, so I really hope I'm not going to be ruining it by reading out of order. I will look it up further to see if it will ruin it or if I can read it. If it does ruin it, I'll start at the beginning, but I really was intrigued by the synopsis of this book. This is an MM romance, and I haven't read one in a while, and I really want to read another one. And of course, this is by Serena Bowen. I love her books. I can read anything she writes, and I love it. So my camera cut out on me, so I'm going to reread the synopsis. What happened in high school stayed in high school until now. 5 years ago, Michael Graham betrayed the only person who ever really knew him. Since then, he's made an art of hiding his sexuality from everyone, including himself. So it's a shock when his past strolls right into the Harkness College locker room, sporting a bag of hockey gear and the same slow smile that had always rendered Graham defenseless. For Graham, there is only one possible reaction: total panic. With one loose word, the team's new left wing could destroy Graham's life as he knows it. John Ricker is stuck being the new guy again, and it's worse than usual because the media has latched onto the story of the only out player in Division I hockey. As the satellite trucks line the sidewalk outside the rink, his new teammates are not amused, and one player in particular looks sick every time he enters the room. Ricker didn't exactly expect a warm welcome from Graham, but the guy won't even meet his eyes. From the looks of it, his former best friend / boyfriend / whatever isn't doing so well. He drinks too much and can't focus during practice. Either the 2 loneliest guys on the team will self-destruct from all the new pressures in their lives, or they can navigate the pain to find a way back to one another. To say that it won't be easy is the understatement of the year. Sounds so good, so good. Full of angst and longing, and that really is right up my alley again. I can't wait to read it. So from the series that I pulled from my mug is the Magnolia Cove series. This is going to finish out the series for me. This is the 3rd book in the series. It is Hearts and Thorns by Ella Fields. This one is a girl who falls in love with her stepbrother. So they're not actually related, but it's very taboo, very forbidden, and I am looking forward to their story. And this will finish on the series, so I can check it done, and yeah, can't wait to read it. And then the book from the workplace romance trope is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is a workplace romance, of course, and they can't stand each other because they are rivals and they are competing against each other. And according to what I've heard, their banter is so funny, and enemies to lovers, and I haven't read one of those in a while, and so I'm really looking forward to this book because pretty much everybody I know loves it, and I can't wait to read it as well. So that is all the books in my August TBR that I plan on reading. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you think about them, and let me know what's on your TBR for August. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.